opening of the Golden Egg at the Ethel Barrymore Theater last night, Peter Austin makes his eagerly awaited Broadway debut. Would that he had it. It's going to be mixed. This is the kind of play that gives playwriting a bad name and deals the theater, already a somewhat endangered species, something very close to a death blow.
Peter.
I don't think he liked it. I'm okay, Julia. I'm okay. It tarnishes the reputation of everyone connected with it. Not permanently, perhaps, but certainly within their lifetime.
That sentence doesn't even make any sense. What's more permanent than your lifetime?
Even the usherettes and the concessionaires at the Barrymore should be walking with lowered heads today, and for at least a season to come. Shame, ladies and gentlemen of the cloakroom, shame.
They go after the ushers. I mean, that's gotta be a first.
I think I'm going to be sick.
That's enough, Peter.
I started it, I'll finish it. Any play that calls itself The Golden Egg is just asking for it. The title is a metaphor, an ironic metaphor.
Any fool could see that. I did.
With such a title, I must confess, I arrived at the Playhouse with my critical hackles already up.
He's admitting that he was prejudiced.
After 10 minutes of Mr. Austin's play, they were so up the woman behind me complained she couldn't see.
Lucky lady.
Lucky lady. You think this is easy? The Golden Egg is not the worst American play since Pinched Nerve. It is not for Mr. Austin's lack of trying. Better luck next time. Would you think any less of me if I burst into tears?
Oh, my darling Peter.
Oh, I wish I could say I knew how you feel, man.
That's it, you didn't even mention me.
It's dismaying to remember.
Please, Mr. Drew.
It's all right, Julia.
You're only tormenting yourself.
Can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen.
To remember that Mr. Austin was the author of Flashes, a show which I praised to the skies along with my colleagues, with the exception of Ira Drew, whom I find to be the least perceptive and most prejudiced of the New York critics. It's a little dig, isn't it? But were we all wrong? Was Mr. Drew a prophet crying in the wilderness? I think so now, and my apologies, Mr. Drew. Trying to make it up for me. Too little, too late, Bonetta. My apologies, Mr. Drew, whom I still find to be the least perceptive, most prejudiced, physically unappetizing, and generally creepy critic in New York. New Ben didn't like me, but not to this extent.
You gonna finish reading the review or not?
The plot of Mr. Austin's debacle...
We know that.
Get to the acting.
I can be more cheerful about the acting,
Here you go, Jenny.
but not much. Only Jack Nimble as the unlucky Tamburini, a role clearly tailored to Mr. James Wacker,
Wicker.
it says Wacker, emerges with distinction. If there's any justice in our theater, and I'm becoming convinced less and less that there is, how can there be when shows like this get produced?
Oh, leave me alone, goddammit.
Then Mr. Nimble is a shoo-in for this year's Best Actor Tony Award.
You kidding me?
As for Mr. Wicker, ooh, they got it right that time.
What did I do?
Who is chiefly remembered hereabouts for his somewhat overpraised performance in Mr. Austin's Flashes.
Or my what?
Somewhat overpraised performance, darling.
Certainly I preferred his replacement, Harvey Firestein. Brought a more masculine presence and a strangely cutting sensitivity to the role.
What? A what?
Masculine presence is strangely...
Shut up, Julie! I heard what he said! Sorry.
Mr. Wicker should count himself lucky to be out of this turkey. Due to his commitments to his enormously popular television series, and I must admit I am a fan, please don't tell my colleagues, out on a lamb.
Limb! Damn it! Limb! L-I-M-B! Limb!
Says lamb.
That's funny. I thought I was star of this thing.
Oh, don't worry, honey. He'll get to you. He went bananas tonight. Okay. Virginia Noyes, returning to the Broadway stage.
Yes.
After a tabloid-stained stint in Hollywood, where she won an Oscar for her controversial performance as an autistic social worker in Bed-Stuy Sunset.
She wasn't autistic.
Personally, I would prefer the award go to Hilary Swank for her role in just about anything else. The thought of her returning to Broadway in David Hare's new play, Die, America, I Hate Your Stupid Guts, Capitalist Pigs, which I caught at the Dunmore Warehouse last spring, has me practically tumescent. But back to Miss Noyes.
Here you go, Ginny.
She wears out her welcome in her very first scene.
It wasn't a scene, it was 3 lines.
From there, it's all downhill. She reminds me of nothing so much as a female impersonator in search of a female to impersonate.
That's out plagiarism.
At one point, when she went into a sort of a dance, my theater-going companion said, "My God, this is worse than genital herpes."
Even I wouldn't say that.
I hope that by the time she reads this, she is headed back to acting rehab. Bon voyage and good riddance, Miss Noyes. That's terrible. She's terrible.
Don't touch me! You didn't even say it was pretty. I always get pretty at least. Even if I'm not that good, I'm still pretty. No, I'm not pretty and I stink. This is why people do drugs. This is why they OD. You're just waiting for me, aren't you? No way. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction. Fuck him! Fucking fuck him where it hurts! Oh, I peed.
That was beautifully said, Virginia.
I wouldn't be an actor for anything in the world.
The rest of the cast is outstanding,
Oh, there's a quote, Julia.
given what they have been asked to perform. I only wonder that they haven't charged the producer's house and stoned it.
I got off easy.
As for the producer, one Mrs. Julia Butter, and I urge you to remember that name, Mrs. Julia Butter, and to remember it well, Mrs. Julia Butter.
Stop! This is a human!
The playbill tells us this is her first attempt at an independent production after a long career as a successful investor.
It was time to step out from the crowd and be counted as a producer.
With all the money Mrs. Butter had earned from her prior successes, she might have done something worthwhile, such as open a mental hospital in which to have her head examined.
I have opened hospitals. I've done a lot for charity.
When one thinks of the plays that Mrs. Butter might have produced, a Hugh Golden, for example,
Who is Hugh Golden? Why wasn't I told of him? I would have done him!
instead of Mr. Austen's Drek, the mind boggles. Does anyone else want to take a turn? Great. Not only was her decision to mount this play imbecilic, it was also immoral. What possessed you, Mrs. Butter?
What possessed any of us?
What possessed any of you? Have I left anyone out?
Everyone's favorite director.
Ah, yes, the direction of Sir Frank Finger.
This has been a long time coming. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Long the most brilliant of our European directors, his production of Titus Andronicus at RADA has attained legendary status. Pity me, for I did not see it. Lord Finger, I know I'm jumping the gun on his investiture, but what the hell, brings us yet another stunning production. He makes poetry upon a tilted disc. The actors could have stood on it all night for this finger file.
Congratulations, Sir Frank.
Bravo, darling, bravo.
Finger file? Fingerless! I never heard such bullshit.
You want to trade?
No, I don't. Is it because of my looks? Do they all want to have wild sex with me? Or is it my personality? Oh, I can't help that. I was born charismatic.
I hope this review will not make you want to run down to the Ethel Barrymore. Besides, I bet they are striking the set as we speak.
Why would they be striking the set? It didn't do anything!
That means taking it down.
Unless it has already collapsed out of sheer embarrassment. Ah well, onwards and upwards with the arts. That's it.
I think it's important we all love one another very much right now.
Why did I decide to do a play? What do they call those people in Starbucks? Baristas. They always seem so happy.
Harvey Firestein?
You know, seeing you people like this, the genuine herd, I'm just sorry more critics can't experience this with you.
Oh, fuck off, Mr. Drew! I'm sorry, but please!
Asshole.
You know, back home, if you write something like that about somebody, you're gonna get your ass kicked, so I'll do it. I'll go kick his butt right now, Mrs. Butter.
Thank you, Gus. It's a lovely thought, but that isn't necessary. We don't do things like that in the theater.
We don't do anything. We pretend nothing happened and then we suck up to the same people all over again.
Popular Mechanics just came in. They loved us. They gave us 2 hammers and a screw.
Harvey Firestein.
You know, when you think about it, there's no way that he could have liked this play.
There isn't?
But that's okay. I can think of a lot of shows that made it without a good review from the Times.
Oh, you can, honey?
Who is this person? It never fails. Every opening night, some total stranger manages to penetrate the inner sanctum. Opening night of Flashes, it was an accountant from Long Island. Everybody thought he was with somebody else. It turned out he hadn't even seen the play. Remember, Jimmy?
I mean, Keanu, I could understand that, but Harvey fucking Firestein?
This play threatens a lot of people, Peter.
Now you tell me.
People don't want to see themselves as they are.
You have to be a narcissistic, psychotic idiot to be an actor.
Have you ever heard that one about the actor who was playing in Hamlet? Just before he started his to be or not to be, the audience started booing. It was so loud he couldn't hear anything. Finally, he stepped forward and said, "Well, I didn't write this shit." I didn't write this shit. Certainly, you must have known something like this could have happened. Didn't you preview audiences?
2 weeks with senior citizens with freebies and headsets on. What did she say, huh? What did she say? Huh? What did who say? The actress who used to be good.
Don't be bitter, Virginia. It doesn't become you.
Are you a straight play or are you a comedy?
We're a comedy with serious overtones.
Okay, like Moliere or Simon?
Like me.
You better see about the party, Gus.
Sorry, Mrs. Butter. I'm just trying to help.
Oh, and the bourbon.
What about our word of mouth?
We've got hoof and mouth.
Virginia! I hate pessimism. I hate it in real life and I hate it in the theater. That's why I'm a producer.
You okay, Ginny?
Well, to somebody who wore out her welcome in the first scene, I'm great.
You're a wonderful actress.
I couldn't book an AA meeting in LA. Put me in a movie. Doesn't have to be the lead, it just has to be good. No way. Movies are a cruel business in a cruel town. They deserve one another. It only matters what you gross. There is a there, and it's obvious. You know, I was in a supermarket in Santa Monica, and I saw my face on the cover of one of those rags. It said, Virginia Noyce trades Oscar for drugs. That is so not funny and so not true. But that's where I saw the announcement for your play, Peter.
We couldn't believe it when we heard you were coming in to read for us.
I thought this play was going to turn everything around for me. I didn't know there were people out there who thought otherwise. Well, I'm going to go down there and look every one of those motherfuckers in the face. I am an actress, and a damn good one.
Ask me if I'd cast her again? In a second. Ginny! Ginny!
Just remember your promise to me, Julia. One good quote you said, and you put up a fight for this show.
One good quote, Peter, and I'll put up the biggest fight anyone ever saw. Like that wonderful song says, Mr. Drew, if I can make it here, I can make it there.
You might be needing that blimp yet.
What blimp?
Our press agent hired the Goodyear blimp with quotes for the play.
What's he going to quote?
Are good reviews. And here they come. Butter residents, mission control, this is the playwright speaking. Oh, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Who is this?
Who is it?
It's Carol Churchill from London. She's worried you're not going to produce her new play now. You've got a national theater. Leave ours alone.
Peter!
If I wasn't a playwright, I'd be a very nice person.
Hugh Golden read the Times and he biked all his plays over.
In this weather, how ambitious can you get?
And I brought a copy of the Times.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Do some rewrites, Carol. I don't want another tonight on my hands. I don't think the British really like us. I think it's a terrible idea to move the Tony Awards to London to save them the trip.
Huh. Would you look at that? Phantom of the Opera is closing.
Oh, no fair. I haven't seen that yet.
Well, you better hurry. Positively the last 10 years, it says.
There's still hope, Julia. There is still hope. I had a mass set for all the critics. I sent each one of them a mass card.
A mass card? I've heard everything now. What wouldn't you do for a good review?
Put a bag over your head and I'd fuck you for one.
I can understand that, but a mass card?
ABC announces 4 new cancellations. Out on a limb among them.
That's terrible, Jimmy. Just terrible.
We never had a shot.
You had 9 years with me.
Not in that time slot.
You never have to work again.
Not with those writers.
You can do theater now.
And not with that co-star. It was like kissing Ben Laden every week.
What are you doing?
There are other things in the world besides your play, Peter.
And not tonight there aren't.
Look, ABC, I would like to protest the cancellation.
You are not going to make my opening night about you. I need that phone.
You could stuff an elephant with all the egos in this room.
You know the financial sacrifices I made to write this play? Pilots, movies, a documentary about Taylor Swift and that baseball player she's seeing.
It's football!
Like it matters.
Ugh.
Hello? Oh, did I wake you? Good. This is James Wicker.
What?
I just read your review of the new Peter Austin play, and I think that you are a pretentious, diva-worshipping, British ass-kissing twat, and no wonder no one likes you. That's telling him.
Who was that?
Ben Brantley.
Ben Brantley.
You see what this business is doing to me?
How do you even have Ben Brantley's number?
I have all the critics' numbers.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna call Ben Brantley back, and you're gonna tell him it wasn't me. Dial. Dial!
What happened to your famous sense of humor?
Dial. He called Ben Brantley and said that he was a pretentious, diva-worshipping, British ass-kissing twat, and no wonder no one likes him, and then he said it was me!
Hello, Mr. Brantley. Yes, that wasn't James Wicker who just woke you up and called you a pretentious, diva-worshipping, British ass-kissing twat. No wonder no one likes you.
Thank you, Peter. Now give me that. It was me, Harvey Firestein.
Shame on you!
Miss Butter, about who's talking?
No! Not now, Mr. Drew.
Just grow up and face facts, Peter. You wrote a flop.
Oh.
By which I mean,
You've been waiting to use the F word all evening.
that's not true, Peter.
You're foaming at the mouth. There's froth on your lips.
This is ridiculous.
Say it again. Say flop.
I don't have to.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means there are a lot of people out there saying it for me.
Who? Name one.
Ben Brantley for openers.
Oh, flop. If that is not the ugliest word in the English language, I'd like to know what is.
How about wishing someone in a stupid series a sudden and violent death, huh?
It's the best thing that could have happened to you.
Well, how would I be the judge of that?
You can do theater again.
You have become a theater snob.
Proud of it. To see your best friend, a great actor, making a fool out of himself week after week, year after
I
year.
knew you never liked my series.
After the first episode, I never watched it.
Well, I wish I could say the same thing about your play.
You told me you loved it.
I turned it down! When do I turn anything down? I did Dancing with the Stars with Danny fucking DeVito for crying out loud! You do the math!
To think that I made you a
You
star.
made me a what?
You were on a streetcar named Oblivion before my play.
Oh, funny how the first thing anyone talks about is my performance!
Well, I think you should revive it and salvage what's left of your reputation.
Revive it with someone more masculine who cuts deeper.
You know something? Harvey did.
Oh, well, funny how it folded 3 weeks after I left and Harvey jumped in.
It wasn't Harvey's fault. There was a big strike on at the time.
It was a UPS strike, for God's sakes! Next thing you're gonna be telling us this one folded because it opened on Flag Day! You wrote a turkey, Peter! A big, fat turkey! Gobble, 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 gobble.
This is a wrap for our friendship.
Total.
It should have happened 5 years ago.
No, 10.
I'd rather not have produced this play than to have seen this.
Buzz?
If I had a best friend, I'd treasure him.
It's the Schuberts. Those vultures. Close this play, Julia.
Who said anything about closing?
Crossed your mind. Don't deny it.
Well, of course it has. No one's that stupid. I dread this. Hello, Mr. Schubert? Well, if your name isn't Schubert, why does everyone call you the Schuberts? Don't you raise your voice at me, Mr. Winkle! I produced this play and I can close it.
That's my Julia.
That's a little more like it. Listen, darling, whoever you are. We are in an absolute state of shock about the times, but I haven't thrown in the towel. I'm a fighter. I'd like to find a way to lower our weekly operating costs. Do we need all those stagehands? Our set doesn't move. We don't even have a curtain to raise and lower. I know, that is a good question. I was hoping you'd be able to answer it. And what about those men playing poker in the basement? I know they're musicians, but we're not a musical.
Don't go messing around with the unions, Julia. I can't do another SAG-AFTRA strike.
Well, if your hands are tied, what about mine? I see. I see. I see. No, of course I don't want that to be on our conscience. If we close tonight, they'll give the Barrymore to Riverdance 11.
Jesus Christ.
I'd hate to be in your shoes tonight, Julia.
They're your shoes too, Peter. They're everyone's.
Are we going to run?
We're still waiting for the rest of the reviews.
The cast of The Iceman Cometh just got here. It's a really long show.
This'll be Buzz.
Hello? It's your press agent with the rest of the reviews.
James?
Moment he's been waiting for, Julia.
It's not true, Peter.
He doesn't mean that, James.
Hey, Buzz. Jimmy Wicker. Yeah, thank you. It was a good run while it lasted. Hey, I hope you got some good news for these people. That review from the Times was a shaft out of left field. Huh. Oh, you feel betrayed, huh? How do you think all of them feel? Right, you know what? Never mind, let's go. Fuck the Times.
I can take shorthand.
In the final analysis, Peter Austin's new play falls just short enough of the mark to fail utterly, however honorably, the Daily News.
Love you too.
If and when the next great American play is written, Peter Austin could be its author, but not with this one.
Well, you hear that, Nate?
I could live a lifetime on a review like that.
Virginia Noyes is a luminescent actress. She brings a touching sensitivity, which is a welcome departure from her on-screen persona. Welcome back to the stage, Miss Noyes.
I like the sound of that.
Bloody brilliant.
The direction of Sir Frank Finger
Oh, don't even bother.
escapes me. The play and the production.
You ought to repeat that.
Long the most overrated talent I know, the Queen was clearly having a senior moment when she added him to her honors list. Sir Finger is one emperor who isn't wearing any clothes. Will someone take away this man's green card and send him back to Mother England? Jesus. We fought a revolution to rid ourselves of pompous British assholes like him. The New York Post.
Congratulations, Sir Frank. Bravo.
Thanks. I'm very happy for you, Frank.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm really, really good. Thank you, New York Post. I finally have what I wanted. And I hate it. Who does he think he is, me father? Why don't you go outside and play with your mates? Little rugby for you. Instead of playing with your bleeding puppets. But I love me puppets, darling. I'll teach you about your little theater. There. That's it. That's why I think you're a theater. No. Yeah, you think you're better than your old man, don't you? Yeah, you going off to Oxford to read literature. And your old man can't even read his own name. Can't even read his own name. No, Papa, no. I'll teach you how to fly. No, Dad, no. You want to be Peter Pan, do you? I'm not Peter Pan. I want to fly. I'll teach you to fly. Here. Oh, no. I'm flying. Whoa. Well, that was fantastic! I've got an appointment with Mildred tomorrow. Oh, well, here. I don't need these things anymore. Oh,
Pastrami! Wait, with sauerkraut or without?
I think they put sour cream. Sorry. Let's see, I have this.
My gym membership?
There you are. And a couple of these. For
My
me.
Quaaludes! Give me my Quaaludes!
You hear that, Buzz? You made one of us really happy. Yeah,
Rest.
I don't think we're gonna get the deposit back on that door.
Rest. Perturbed spirits.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, what about the weeklies?
Time magazine doesn't review shows that have already closed.
We haven't closed.
Time Out left after the first act. New York left during the first act.
Get the New Yorker. They've always been good to me.
The New Yorker's coming to tomorrow night's show, if there is one. Buzz wants to know if he should cancel the blimp. Yeah, I guess that's the ball game, Buzz.
Tell him I am very disappointed in his services.
He wants me to tell you that he quits.
Well, you know, for what it's worth, at the original out-of-town tryouts, Harvey was played by a giraffe.
What?
I can't
can't even deal with a comment like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't changed to an invisible rabbit who walks across the stage until a Saturday matinee at the Boston Commons.
No more theater, Lord Gus, please. I want you to go downstairs and ask everyone to leave. Tell them the party's over.
Well, you heard Mr. Bentley, onwards and up.
I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Drew. God punishes people who do plays on Broadway. He punishes them good.
That's why he invented community theater.
New York is my community theater. It's the only one I have. I don't know what people want in a play anymore. I mean, besides 90 minutes with no intermission and someone they've been told is a star.
Life. Lots and lots of life. We want to laugh. We want to cry. We want to feel something about who we are. Take us somewhere. We'll go with you. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece.
You make it sound easy.
You know, when I would get discouraged, my father would tell me, "It's only a play, Jimbo. It's only a play." I mean, you know, he said it in Italian. "È solo una commedia, Jimbo. È solo una commedia." He didn't get to see me make it.
He always says, it's your money, honey. Sure you want to throw it away like this?
Breaking up really bad down there. Somebody put a hole in a wall. And the cast wants to know if there's going to be a second night.
It's up to Peter.
What would be the point?
Well, they wanted me to thank you for being the nicest producer they've ever worked with. And wish you a Merry Christmas.
No more calls.
Hello?
You gotta press the buttons.
Sorry. It's for you,
Who is it?
Corpus Christi, Texas.
Hi, Dad. How you feeling? They fit great. I got a lot of compliments. Hi, Mom. The reviews are pretty good. Not great, but no, not as good as Flash's. Yeah, he's here. Yeah, he came all that way. I will. Listen, Mom, can I call you back? I don't want to tie up this phone. Love you too. Bye. They sent you their love.
It's all my fault. That turntable did matter. I'll never forgive myself.
It's all my fault. That goddamn ankle bracelet. And then it goes off and everyone's looking at it.
You're right, Peter. It's all my fault. The play never had a shot without me in it.
No, it's all my fault. I wanted it to fail, and I brought you and it down with me.
It's all my fault. I wrote it.
Oh, Dodge!
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz, start the car, I know a big spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. I thought you could use some cheering up.
Thank you, Gus. That's the spirit. Here's to your next one.
tonight, who'd want to produce it?
I certainly would. Why do you think I produced this one?
Tax loss.
Peter.
You really liked it?
And I thought a lot of other people would too. Of course, there were things wrong with your play. Wish I could have helped you fix them, but I don't have your genius for the moments that did work. The sight of Virginia and her big speech, the way that Sir Frank had her standing, her hair, the costume, the lighting. Your beautiful words. You could hear a pin drop.
I would dream of Persia and flying carpets and all the faraway places I'd ever dreamt of. I could dream of them underneath my quilt of calico patches.
That was perfect, Virginia. Just perfect. Thank you.
Sounds like I really missed something.
You did, Gus, and I produced it! Anyone can come up with a tax loss. It takes a very special maniac to produce a play.
I don't understand you people. One minute you're at each other's throats, the next you're putting on another show.
It's called theater. What's not to understand?
Well, I'm in the theater too, you know.
On the outside, looking in. On the outside, looking in.
Well, I feel in.
You're not!
I'm sorry. I can't hold this in anymore. I have to tell somebody. I am Carolyn Comstock.
Who?
The author of Blue Stocking. Carolyn Comstock is my nom de plume. I didn't want to unduly influence anyone with my permission, with my position as a critic. I've written 38 plays. That's 2 more than Shakespeare, 33 more than Chekhov. All I've ever wanted was to have one of them produced. I felt such a pang of envy when the lights came up tonight. That set was made for Blue Stocking. I'm not going to say that Blue Stocking is the next King Lear, but it's certainly better than Riverdance 11. And on top of everything, it has 1 set and 2 characters.
You already mentioned that.
Oh, they all want to be playwrights. Well, it's a noble profession. Well, dream on, Mr. Drew. I wrote my first play in high school, A Life of George Gershwin. Got all my information from the back of record jackets. In the first scene, young George gets thrown out of a music publisher's office. The secretary consoles him and shyly confesses she's a budding lyricist. "What's your name?" George asks her. "Ira," she responds. I think my career's been downhill ever since.
I'd better get the rest of these coats downstairs.
Elaine's everybody? Or Joe Allen if they won't let us in? Come on, everybody, I'm buying. Even you, Mr. Drew, what the hell? Jenny?
You wrote Blue Stocking for Meryl, what's her name, I suppose?
Actually, Miss Noyce, you'd be wonderful in the role of Cubby.
Cubby, tell me more.
Cubby Blunt. She's kind of an every woman, down to earth, great warmth, great, very virile, very vital.
I'm virile too.
Your play, it could be done on Peter's disc.
Yes, with just the slightest of modifications.
The load-in costs are exorbitant, but they couldn't charge either one. We're already there.
Jenny, Frank, Julia, let's go. Jenny?
Talk to me about the man's role.
Oh, his name is Fred Brown.
Fred Brown.
But that could be changed, as well as the title.
Clap of Doom. I've always wanted to produce something called Clap of Doom.
Fred Brown's fine.
I like Tucker.
Tucker's marvelous. Tucker, anyway, Fred is very great humor, great depth, great warmth.
Okay, but is he virile?
Extremely virile.
Elliot would like that. He's bullish in that department. What do you think, Frank?
Don't bother him now, he's working.
I've
Got a concept. This is something that's never been attempted before in the theater, and it scares the living shit out of me. Are you ready to be frightened?
I am.
I can see why. Check this out for Kamikaze Theater! Well, two people on a disc. No, someone enters and hands her a script.
Just about all gone down there.
No rehearsal, no previews. Instant theater. We could start tomorrow.
Oh, Frank, you know me in lines.
Oh, I don't like my actresses getting stale.
I don't get stale, I ripen.
I like.
I love it.
It's brilliant, Sir Frank!
That's the idea behind Blue Stocking. It takes place in a rehearsal situation. The actors are meant to be holding scripts. It's part of my concept.
Your concept? Who's directing this play? We need more scripts.
Scripts. Okay.
See if they have any more spaghetti.
Tell the rest of the staff, Gus, that we're not to be disturbed.
Okay, but then that's it, darling. I'm in rehearsals!
What do you think you're doing, Julia?
All I'm thinking, Peter, is that with Blue Stocking, Virginia, Frank, and now James will be right back to work. Gus will get to Broadway, and the Ethel Barrymore will be blazing with a new American play, instead of those dreadful dancing orange people.
But you'll be the laughing stock of Broadway.
After tonight, I already am.
Peter, you need to get back up on that high wire. The sooner the better.
Oh, Act 2, Jenny?
Hey, you can't write every play.
No, but I can want to.
Start writing your next play.
Plays don't just pop up like toast.
I think this time you should write a love story.
This one was a love story, only nobody noticed.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're too late. She's reviving Cats.
Oh, don't even joke about that.
Everybody's gone down there.
I thought you all loved me.
We do, darling. We just love the theater more.
Blue Stocking, a new play by Caroline Comstock.
Now how long I've waited to hear most of those words.
At Rise, nothing.
We'll see about that.
10 seconds of this, then the lights come up on a green chair. A woman screams in the distance. Or is it a woman?
Ah!
An ineffable sound.
Me?
No, Julia. Well done. No, you, yes, you. Oh, well, where have you been all my life?
Oh, this is so exciting.
You, what about dots?
What about dots? I mean,
There
they're...
are bloody dots everywhere.
They're meant as pauses, hesitations.
I don't do dots.
Neither do I.
Me either. Pinter uses dots.
Fuck Pinter. For me.
Heartbreak House. Oh, it's the Schuberts. They want to know if you're gonna run.
I don't know what I want to do anymore.
When I saw our marquee go dark tonight, I thought, it's important those lights keep burning. New York without the theater is Newark. Did I give Julia the best play I could? Was Virginia's part as good as she was? Why didn't I write a part Jimmy couldn't turn down? Jack's good, but he's not you, Jimmy. And Frank,
Yeah.
if we ever work together again,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that you respect every word and comma of my text. And give me back my phone.
Oh, yeah. Are you sure this is it? Yep.
Thanks.
Peter,
You want life? Lots and lots of life? Okay, how's this? Julia Butter presents James Wicker and Virginia Noyes in It's Only a Play by Peter Austin, featuring Gus Entire production conceived and directed by Sir Frank Finger.
That's the marquee. We need a play.
I'll give you a play. I've been writing it all my life. I've lived it. We all have. It's about a leading man who's forgotten how great an actor he can be. And a best friend who makes me the best writer I can be. It's about an actress who's her own natural high and who can make the largest theater a room where you could hear a pin drop because everybody stopped. It's about a producer who trusts us to give her the best that we can, and who can raise money and not give us too many notes because of it. It's about a director who's smart enough to keep us all on the same page and who can maybe lead us to glory. Everything I need or want is right here in this room, even you, Mr. Drew.
We're staying put, Mr. Schubert, or whatever the hell your name is. I'm putting my finger in the dike and holding back the night. The Barrymore is not available. Butter's back in business. Now, let's get cracking.
But what about my play?
The second act needs work.
How would you know that?
She's right, I flipped ahead.
Every second act needs work. That's the first thing they taught us.
Now you're getting
I'm sorry to get your hopes up, Mr. Drew.
Okay, we are in the bedroom of a hotel room on Manhattan's East Side. Downstairs, an opening night party is in progress. We hear laughter and music wafting up the stairs.
Wafting? I could do wafting.
I like it better already.
Can you imagine going from one play right into another?
What about from the lead of a canceled series right into a new play? There's gotta be a word for something like that.
Coup de theater?
Kuda fucking fabulous!
You can't write a play in one night, Mr. Austin.
I can write this one.
I'm going to need a personal trainer and an assistant, Julia.
A young woman enters carrying coats. She is moon-eyed and starstruck, like every one of us at our first opening night party.
I could do that.
You're so young to be so talented.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
A dapper, funny, big-hearted, beloved star of the theater enters. He is handsome and flush in his designer suit. The audience applauds wildly.
Nobody writes for me like you do, Peter. Now, is this my first monologue?
Settle down, Sparky. With him is a beautiful, sexy, sophisticated woman. There is a standing ovation at her entrance.
I like the sound of that already.
A dog barks stage left. All right, Torch, stage right. Have it your way.
Yeah. No dog.
There has to be a dog.
No, I don't work with children, animals, and Letty Schwartz.
He's right, darling. People love dogs. I'm not sure about Lenny Schwartz.
Opening night party, theater people, Lenny Schwartz. Who cares about Lenny Schwartz?
His mom, I hope.
I certainly do.
Of course you do, but what about the audience?
They can decide for themselves.
That's my job.
Oh,
At rise. If those aren't the two most exciting words in the English language, I'd like to know what are.
Sentimental hogwash.
The house has gone to dark.
What's the word? Somebody Jewish help me. Kerplunket.
The actors are in place.
You get used to it.
All is in readiness. The play can begin.
This is when I look at the audience and wonder, where do all of you come from?
How do you like it so far, Jimmy?
Wonderful.